Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
That weird friend thread. We've all met that one person that you have to do a double take with. Maybe they say something a little odd. Do something that might make you think twice about your surroundings. Maybe it's even their whole family when you meet them gives you a weird vibe. Tell us about that weird friend and what they did that made you give a second thought to seeing them again. Have a friend. He wasn't like a good buddy or anything. He was just sort of there in the background of the group. Would never see him if it wasn't with the regular group. He wasn't a bad person either, just a little dark. Acted goth without dressing the part. Loved true crime shit. Not in a school of criminology way, but just liked reading about the details. I think he was bullied a lot in school, and his home life was kind of crap. GTA 5 comes out. He asks us to come over and play it. Only me and another guy go, and he has to leave about an hour into it. Little awkward, but I almost felt bad for him because he always seemed lonely, so I stayed. We're playing as Trevor, stole a big rig truck, and have been plowing down people through Los Santos. Head up to Sandy Shores, going to do the side mission with the two kids at the hotel, and you drive them home. Instead, he drives them the other way, across the lake to the barn where you find the baseball bat. Gets out, shoots the boyfriend. The girl runs. He tases her and stabs her over a dozen times at least. I'm all for killing NPCs, but this seemed a little much. He finishes a couple minutes later and goes to get a snack. I start playing and was messing around with all the tech stuff and found the camera. Looks through his old photos. Tons of murdered hitchhikers. In particular, this couple we just butchered. Wait a sec. Trucker driver kidnaps a boyfriend and girlfriend, kills the girlfriend in a barn, then takes photos. I think he was recreating the Regina Walters murder.
Dating this girl for a few weeks. Says she wants me to meet her family. Nervous, but try to keep calm. The family seems very friendly. Dinner was good and I'm no longer nervous. Actually feel silly for being nervous at all. We go to bed. Her dad doesn't make me sleep in a separate room. Maybe he just forgot. Either way, I'm taking my chance. End up just spooning all night because her parents are right next door. Next morning, her mom says, "You guys were awfully quiet last night. How am I supposed to have any grandkids with you being all lazy?" Choke on my cereal. That was weird. Try to blow it off as her having a very sick sense of humor, but she was deadpan when she said it. Next few weeks, they're both dropping hints about marriage and children. "Oh, you guys are going to the park. Great place to walk with a stroller." Anon, for her birthday. She likes jewelry, necklaces, rings. Actually, here's her ring size. I'd hang on to that if I were you. The final straw was when her mom showed me some preschools in the area. Break up with her. Her dad calls me later that night saying their relationship with his daughter is now in shambles. She could hurt herself, etc., etc. Am I supposed to give a shit? Stop answering their calls, stop hearing from them after a month. I often wonder what became of them.
I had a friend freshman year of high school. Pretty normal family life, but he would always have to leave early for dinner or chores or something when his mom called. Obviously, we teased him for it. Called him mother's favorite, the son a mother would dream of. Norman, Master, Bates. He'd just shrug it off and laugh with us. "Yeah, that's me, ha 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 ha." He doesn't show up to school for a few days, which is too suspicious. Get called into the principal's office one day. The principal is like overly happy and trying to keep up appearances. "So, guys, how well do you know Anon? His family, I mean." "Been over a few times. They seemed normal. Turns out his mom was super abusive and regularly beat the shit out of him and his younger brother. Last week he finally snapped and stabbed her a bunch of times with a fork and put her in the hospital. Social services came, tried to place him with his aunt, who we later found out was abusive too. He openly tells the judge if she sends him there, They will see each other again under the same circumstances. Gets put there anyway. Within 3 days, he beats her with a frying pan. Last we ever hear, he got put into some kiddie loony bin. Never see him again. Mine's more sad than scary.
I am the weird friend, but many of my group of friends are odd, so it's all good. No outright sociopaths, like many in this thread, seem to have suffered. My sympathies to you and to those still stuck. I hope you find a way out soon. Most of my weird friend stuff isn't that odd. I just think a lot, ask questions, care about things like how trees and bugs feel, nothing bad. The only thing that might be alarming is sometimes I see stuff. I've talked about it on X once before. I'm not actually on here often. Sometimes they're people, sometimes they're just things, and very rarely I will hear or feel something. I have always been able to distinguish between what's real and what's not physically there, though. I'll likely seek medical help when I can't tell anymore. A few of my friends want to go to haunted places at night and want me to go too, since I'm like a spooky magnet, but I refuse. No way in hell am I inviting that in, if that is what I see.
I knew a girl called Maisy. She was a very attractive girl, but a bit mentally off. I knew her from primary school, and she'd always follow me everywhere smiling. She chose the same secondary school as me, and then the same classes, then the same college, then the same class. She even did the same thing when I went to uni. She wouldn't speak to anyone but me or the teachers, and she would follow me home some nights and stare at my window. It was really weird, considering I lived in a bad neighborhood, and a girl like her would be an easy target for a robber. I'd find her some mornings curled up in my porch asleep, and when I asked her how she got in, she'd say she had to in order to protect me. Her adoptive parents told me that when she was younger, her real parents died from an overdose, and she followed me around because my hair was the same color as her father's. I have a ton of stories about her, if anyone wants to know them. I swear this girl could teleport or something. She'd just appear behind me so suddenly when I thought I was alone. I live in a rural sorta area with lots of mountains and stuff. I drove about 30 miles to a place called Carding Mill Valley, Brits may know, and intended to hike there. About 2 hours in, I hear my name being called, and she is staring at me with her head slightly tilted. I asked her how she got there. She cannot drive and has no other friends, and she said she had to make sure I was okay. She never answered questions directly. She would always dodge them. She wouldn't study, and somehow still got great grades, and she couldn't ever hold a job because she'd either write down her answers on paper during interviews or just walk out and go searching for me.
This happened a few years back. To this day, I still have no idea what the hell happened. Dating this girl for about a year. We live in New York. Her parents live in California. She's there for school along with her brother. She wants me to fly to California to meet her parents. Already met her brother, a pretty cool guy. Agree to go, not nervous at all. We spent the day with her, showing me around the area. Go out to eat and see a movie. She wants to wait till about midnight to meet her parents. Kinda weirded out about that, but whatever. Her family lives in this place called Rowland Heights. We showed up to her parents' place close to midnight. It's a sketchy trailer park with only a few streetlights. Front door is wide open, so we walk in. Her parents are sitting on the couch. She sits between them. Not a single word is spoken, getting a bit nervous. They're just staring at me looking pissed. Her dad stands up and shouts what I think is, "Hey, Gel!" This huge guy walks into the room with a baseball bat. Without even thinking, I burst out the front door. Knew something weird was going on. Jump in the car and speed away. I see them all standing in the driveway in my rear view mirror. I get back to my hotel room and later receive a call from my girlfriend. "You're a spoiled little boy. We're gonna get you. You can't hide." I hang up and contacted the police and blocked her number. Fly home right the next day. Here's the thing, she was the most normal girl I've ever met in my life. She was sweet, shy, loving, and acted like any other normal college girl would. Her brother was a real nice guy, and we never had any problems up to this point. To this day, I still have no idea what the hell happened. When I tried asking her brother what the whole thing was about, he told me to stop asking questions, and changed his number. I never saw her around campus ever again. Same with her brother, they both just vanished.
The cops did nothing?
I contacted the local police department and they said, "We will look into it." The guy on the phone sounded like he gave no shits at all, and he even made it sound like this sort of thing happened all the time there. I asked him if I should come down there to talk to them, and he was like, "Nah, don't worry about it," and even told me I was okay to leave back to New York and to have a nice flight. And when I told him I was scared because they knew what hotel I was staying at, he told me, "Nah, don't worry about it." They didn't give a damn if my life was in danger or not. I ended up sitting at the door the whole night, freaked out and worried they were coming to kill me or something.
This is my teacher's story, not mine. Be him, junior of college, second try about 26. Dating this girl, 8 out of 10. He is an actor combatant, so he collects weaponry of all kinds. Actor combatants, for those of you who can't figure it out, are people trained to fight with weapons or unarmed without actually harming their scene partner. He is now a fight master. She asks him one day to see one of his knives. He lends her one. This goes on for some time. This point, she has about a dozen of his knives. He sleeps over at her place one night, wakes up to her on his chest with a knife in her hand.
I could kill you right now. Isn't that just exciting?
Yeah. Dumbass still stays with her. One day at her place, his phone rings. Buddy forgot name D on the phone.
Hey, you're dating Kay, right?
Yeah, I'm here right now.
Dude, get out. She is not safe, trust me.
Yeah, sure, I can come help you fix your fence. Hightails it out of there and never goes back. When he told us this story, his only regret was all the knives he lost.
That weird friend was my ex. Be the only Asian kid at my school, LOL Midwestern America. Basically, I am a novelty. Hang out every morning with friends in the school quad. Across the quad was this girl. Goth, grunge type, always wearing purple and black with stripes, 6 out of 10, call her C. She's a friend of a friend of friend. One day I arrived at school early, first one at our usual spot. Sitting there reading, earphones on, when suddenly someone sits behind me, tears one of my earphones out. It's her. She appeared out of nowhere and she's listening to my music from the earphone she took. She's sitting awfully close. I'm not interested in her. Anyway, she starts hanging out with our group. No one talks to her nor she to anyone, just there. A mutual friend tells me she likes me. I didn't want to offend her, so I decided to start talking to her. Invite me over to her place after school. Arrive at 4 p.m. Lives in the more disagreeable part of town. Meet her mom, advanced aging from drug use. If you want to know what a girl will look like as she ages, look at her mom. Things get worse. So you must be C's boyfriend. Boyfriend. What? Play along. Yes, I no C, she hangs out with us every lunchtime. Her mom works at a Burger King, brings us some food she scored. Again, don't want to offend, so eat what is given out of courtesy. Stay there doing homework while trying to do homework, absolutely uncomfortable being here. Her mom leaves for work. I offer to give her a ride, also as an excuse to leave, declined. Staying home alone with C, hoping my damn best she doesn't initiate anything. Brings over a bowl of cut fruit and tea. I end up eating it, realizing I shouldn't have. I pass out, remembering telling myself that it'll only be for a few minutes. Wake up to her over me. Ask what time it is, 9 p.m. Left arm feels numb. See bloody gauze wraps and sterile wipes all over the floor. Think the blood was hers. Ask her if she's all right. Says she is fine. Look down at my arm. There's blood everywhere. What the hell? Her, I thought you'd like what I did to your arm. What the hell? Turns out she raided her mom's medicine cabinet for sedatives and carved up my arm in some artsy way. She likes to draw and sketch. Anyway, she ends up carving 13 crosses into my arm. I am at this point utterly pissed and scared she has a scalpel, the kind used in dissecting frogs from school. Grab my stuff real fast and with thinking grab some of the bloody bandages, I don't know, maybe as proof of what she did. End up forgetting my jacket. Never asked her why. But after some thinking, it dawned on me that my last name has 13 letters and begins with the 13th letter. Fuck me for getting involved. Get home. I have to hide my wounds for a month by wearing long sleeves. Time in between is when she is hanging out across the quad, just staring at me wearing my jacket. I don't return her phone calls or messages from mutual friends. My friends know the truth and had to lie to my parents just so this doesn't escalate. One day we arrived at our usual spot, and the place was scattered with purple graffiti. We suspect who it is. Don't hang out there anymore because we don't want the blame.
There was this girl who I crushed on pretty hard back in middle school.
Be me, 7th grade, Dad died 2 years ago. Depressed on Zoloft. This girl and I were chatting. Huge crush on her, she probably knew it. Says, I can help you talk to your dad. Would have laughed, but she just dropped some major proposal. "'Kay, let's do it." She and I hang out after school. Pulls out some candles from a bag and a small dagger. Makes a magic-looking circle. "You need to draw blood so the spell will work." "Do it, I miss that old man." Nothing happens. Get mad, never talk to her again. To be fair though, ever since then, I've sensed ghosts and spirits. Never anyone so familiar as my dad. I've also felt family members pass when I'm multiple states away. So I guess I got something out of it. I guess I owe her an apology.
Sure, I'll bite. I live in a somewhat small town. Went to high school with all the same kids. There was this one dude who was just cool with everyone. Could strike up a conversation about anything. Had common interests with everyone. Overall cool guy. Become friends with him somewhat in our 8th grade year of school. Talked to him many times before, but never really hung out with him. As I become this guy's friend, I find out a lot more about him. He is kind of like a mobster mixed with Charles Manson. If he has a problem with someone, he won't bat an eyelash at beating them. If he wanted something to be done, he could talk people into doing it. Very strange for an 8th grader. Fast forward to 11th grade. Chilling with a guy outside in the parking lot at the local hangout spot. People are acting idiots and drinking. Someone hits Buddy's car. Buddy just gets out of the car, walks over to where the one guy parked and gets his tag number. "You get that to call the cops in case he runs." "Nah, I'm gonna deal with it." Okay. Week later. The guy that hit his car comes to the school in his father's truck. Says someone slashed his tires, cut all the wires under his hood, smashed all the windows and beat up the body pretty badly. Okay. Anon did you do this? Nah man, don't worry about it. Now in college with said dude. Still charming, but doesn't really get others to do his stuff. Gave me a ride one day. Parks his car and we go inside. Come out X amount of hours later. Big long green mark on the car. He said to get in and look for a car with a white mark. We drove around for about an hour trying to find this car. Finally found it. The guy grabs a baseball bat and goes to town. I'm freaking out because we're going to get caught. Gets back in the car and drives to the river with me, thinking I'm going to die. He says, "Now what you saw today didn't happen all right?" I agree. He says to follow him. Foolishly, I do. Walking for a bit and says, here we are. I ask where we are. Dude says that it's the place where the assholes go. I wonder WTF he means by that. He starts to give me a trust talk. I know we have been friends for such and such years, and I have never shown anybody this, and I hope that you are faithful enough to me that you won't rat me out for what I've done, blah, blah, blah. Guy starts to kick up dirt and bones start to show through the ground. Mostly animal bones, so I think this guy just killed a bunch of helpless animals. One thing did catch my eye though, a jawbone and some vertebrae. I posted pics of them on here like in August of last year to get verification as to whether they were human or not. I never got an answer. After seeing the jaw, I ask if we can leave. He agrees, so we leave. After that day, he stopped coming around so much, stopped coming to class like he used to. Pretty much has disappeared from campus. Someone said he got arrested for making threats, but I doubt that as he wouldn't just up and tell someone he's going to hurt them. That's my weird friend's story. Still have no clue if that was a human jawbone that looked human, though.
Well, I don't mean to be that guy, but as some people have said about themselves before, most would consider me that weird friend. I do have a lot of friends, and they all seem to like me a lot and are very devoted to me. Most of them think I'm really funny as well because I tend to say really outlandish shit sometimes. However, back in high school, I did threaten to kill people a lot, and I was very serious about the stabbing part. I stabbed a kid and made him bleed once in 9th grade. He grabbed me from behind, so I claimed it was self-defense. Then in 10th grade, I got sent to the psychologist because somebody had apparently reported me. I think I may be a sadist in general, because I admittedly do enjoy the pain of others, and I like the sight of blood, even my own. My current girlfriend knows about it, but won't let me cut her in sexual situations. She lets me do other things to satisfy my sadism fetish, but cutting is too far for her. And finally, I care about very few people. Like, If most people I know died, even my family, I don't think I'd really care too much. There are a few people I care a lot about, such as my girlfriend, but not many. So, yeah, that's me. I'm not really crazy or anything though, because I'd probably never kill anyone or anything. I'm sadistic, but I'm not autistic.
Be in middle school, become friends with one of the new kids. Hang out for a few days, pretty cool kid. Ask me if I want to spend the night this weekend. Saturday comes and I bike to his house. Show up and meet his parents. His mom is really nice. His dad is this huge, scary military man. They're still unpacking in most rooms. Really nice big house. They have this huge rear projection TV that blew my mind at the time. Around 8 p.m., his parents end up leaving for a date. We're sitting in his room playing N64 when his dad comes in. "You boys have fun, don't touch the TV." The entire day he told us to stay away from the big screen TV. "Hey, let's hook the N64 up to the big screen." We bring the N64 out into the living room. "Hey, Anon, hook it up while I get the games and controllers." He runs back upstairs to get the rest of the stuff. I can't seem to reach behind the TV far enough to plug the damn cords in. The TV is on this small entertainment stand. I try scooting out to make room. I hear this loud smash, and my mind goes blank. The huge TV just fell forward and smashed onto the hardwood floor. I panic as I hear my friend begin to rush downstairs. He's dragging the controllers behind him. He starts crying and freaking out. "What did you do?" I bolt out the front door and bike home. Monday came around and my friend didn't show up to school. The teacher told us he was in a horrible accident and wouldn't be in school for a while. Turns out his dad beat the ever-living hell out of him. Even went as far as breaking a few of his bones. He ended up going to jail, and him and his mom ended up moving away. Thankfully, they knew almost nothing about me, where I lived, or my last name, so I didn't get into any trouble at all. Just recently, I looked him up on Facebook, and it looks like he's living a normal life now. I still feel bad. I must have screwed his childhood up hard.
Oh man, this thread, yes, good. B15, get MSN for the first time. Adding friends from school, get added by a kid I barely know. He talks to me sporadically about random anime shit. Only thing I know about him was that he's from a weird Wiccan hippie family. Every now and then he'd try to convince me to hang out to experience spirituality. Hell no.jpg. Remove him from contacts. In the next week, the school found out he was pissing in a jar in his locker. Also, find tons of garbage in jars. Don't talk to him till senior year. He'd continually tried to get my phone number and address off people. Try as hard as I can to avoid him. Last week of school, he's found smoking pot on the grounds. They search his locker. More jars of bodily fluids. He also has black candles, black-handled daggers, etc. My friends start suggesting I don't go off alone after school. People saying the kid is talking weird shit about magic and creating his soulmate. Oh, fuck no. Start getting phone calls from him begging for me to help him. When I refuse, he goes off about how he's balanced the world. Keeps talking about all the weird rituals he's been doing. Believes he's found the elixir of life in his piss. Hang up on him and proceed to tell a few close friends to watch him at the dance. They found him drinking his own piss in the coat room. Never heard anything from him after that. But he became infamous at my high school, apparently. Needless to say, I don't regret avoiding him. I'm pretty sure he was totally convinced that golden showers were the key to immortality.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel, as more green texts will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.
Remember to check out the Odyssey page in the description for a second archive of the channel's videos.
There's also a Rumble archive as a backup.